Getting old today is scary, but getting old 40,000 years ago should have been impossible. No hospitals, no medicine, no retirement, no soft beds. And if your body became too weak to hunt, too slow to move, too tired to keep up with the tribe, nature was supposed to erase you. So here's the question. What actually happened to old people in ancient tribes? Because archaeologists discovered something that should not exist. Ancient humans with shattered bones, missing teeth, crippled legs, blindness, even injuries so severe they should have died within days, somehow survived for years. Which means someone fed them, protected them, carried them, loved them. In a world where food could run out tomorrow, humans were still keeping weak, old people alive. Why? The answer reveals something shocking about what humans really are. We need to destroy one of the biggest myths about prehistoric humans. People imagine ancient tribes as brutal survival machines. Only the strong survive. Everyone else gets abandoned. Sounds logical, but the evidence says something completely different. In a cave in Iraq, scientists discovered the skeleton of an ancient Neanderthal, now called Shanidar I. And this man should not have survived. One arm was crippled, his leg was badly damaged, he was partially blind, likely half deaf. His body was so broken he could barely hunt at all, and yet he lived for years after these injuries. Think about how insane that is. A disabled old man surviving in the prehistoric wilderness. No surgery, no medicine, no modern care. The only explanation is simple. Other humans kept him alive every single day. Someone brought him food. Someone slowed down for him. Someone protected him while predators moved outside the cave at night. Ancient humans were not surviving because they abandoned weakness. They survived because they protected it. And this gets even stranger. Archaeologists have found elderly humans with no teeth at all who still survived into old age. That should have been impossible. No teeth means no chewing meat, no hard roots, no survival. So how did they stay alive? Other humans softened food for them, chewed it for them, fed them slowly by hand. Imagine that, tens of thousands of years ago, before civilization, before writing, before religion, humans were already caring for the elderly with shocking tenderness. But old people were not just being protected out of kindness, they were incredibly valuable, because old humans carried the most important thing on Earth: memory. Right now, if you forget something, you search for it online. Ancient humans had no books, no internet, no maps. Every survival secret existed only inside human memory. Which berries kill you, where water appears during drought, how to survive winter, where animals migrate, how to treat infection. One mistake could destroy an entire tribe, and the people carrying the most knowledge were the elders. The old woman who remembered where water existed during the last great famine might save everyone. The old hunter who survived a brutal winter 40 years earlier might stop the tribe from starving. Old people were living libraries, and in a world without writing, those libraries were priceless. But here's the part that genuinely shocks scientists. Humans are one of the very few species where females live long after they stop having children. That's extremely rare in nature. Scientists call this the grandmother hypothesis, and it may explain why humans became so successful. Ancient grandmothers helped raise children, gathered food, protected babies, taught younger mothers, watched children while others hunted. And because of that support, more children survived. Which means something unbelievable may be true. Human civilization may have been built partly by grandmothers, not kings, not warriors, not hunters, grandmothers. The old woman sitting quietly near the fire may have contributed more to human survival than the strongest hunter in the tribe.
But now we reach the darker side of the story, because ancient life was still brutally unforgiving. Sometimes winter came early, sometimes food disappeared, sometimes the tribe had to move fast or everyone died, and in certain cultures, old people were left behind. Imagine that moment, the tribe packing supplies, children crying, snow falling, and an elderly person realizing they can't keep up anymore. Some walked away from the tribe voluntarily. Others stayed behind near dying fires while their families disappeared into the distance. Not because they stopped loving them, because survival gave them no choice. And in certain places, it became even darker. There are ancient stories and archaeological evidence suggesting some elderly people were taken to isolated cliffs or frozen wilderness and abandoned there intentionally, not out of hatred, out of desperation. Nature was ruthless and sometimes compassion lost. But even then, many ancient societies still treated elders with enormous respect because surviving to old age itself was extraordinary. An old person had escaped predators, disease, starvation, accidents, winter, again and again and again. They became healers, storytellers, judges, spiritual leaders, keepers of memory. The elder sitting silently near the fire was not weak. They were a human archive, and everyone listened when they spoke. Here's the realization that changes everything. Modern humans fear growing old because growing old feels like becoming irrelevant. But ancient humans may have seen old age completely differently, because in prehistoric tribes, growing old meant you would become important enough to survive. Wrinkles meant experience, gray hair meant knowledge, old age meant your brain carried things younger humans desperately needed. Humanity survived ice ages, famines, predators, and disease because ancient humans chose, again and again, to protect the people who remembered how to survive them before. The old kept the young alive, and the young carried the old forward. That partnership built civilization itself. So next time you see an elderly person moving slowly, remember this. Those slow steps once meant something extraordinary. They meant this human survived long enough to carry knowledge through time. Your civilization exists because ancient humans made one strange decision over and over again. Instead of abandoning the weak, they carried them. And maybe that's the moment humans became truly human. If this changed the way you see growing old, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one.